Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Jeff, how are you doing, bud?
Not too bad. I'm feeling good about this one. Back to King of the Ring. Going to wrap up the month. Actually, we still got another one next week. So forget what I just said. Yeah, just enjoying wrestling. Who knows what we're getting into?
What, pretty obvious, but why this match?
Yeah, this was just one of those King of the Ring matches that, kind of looking at the list of stuff that we had on here. I was like, okay, what have we not covered? Who have we not talked about in a while? And it's actually been a long time since we've covered a Kane match. And so, I always enjoy those clips of him and Undertaker kind of on podcasts and kind of talking to each other and having conversation. Like, they're bound to, they're brothers. So they've always got some good stories. And then this is one I just didn't remember. Like a first blood match is always interesting. Could go sideways pretty quick if they're not careful. So, I'm just kind of interested. I don't really remember it, so we'll get into it that way.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to this one for a number of reasons. So let's get right into the build.
Oh, it's time for the build.
So, obviously, a very famous wrestling evening. It's weird because it's like we talked about last week of like what shows that you weren't at that you could have been at. And I said WrestleMania 3, an ECW one night stand. I might argue like ECW Barely Legal would be fun. What about you? What are some shows that you wish you like? Is this one of them? Because I was at this show, and that's part of why I'm asking. Like, this is, I guess this has to be of every show every match you could have ever seen live. I feel like for a lot of people, this would be in like the top 10. I will never forget seeing this live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I was older for WrestleMania 3, of course. Like, there's a lot of those. Like, some of those Rumbles, there was a few in the 90s there that were just out of this world. And so I think that's one of them. And this one, I don't know where I'd rate. And so many of them would be WrestleManias. Like 17, of course, stands out as just a big one. I think back to like what would have been SummerSlam. Was it 2 or 3 with Brock and Rock? And so that would be one too, like that, that was 2. And so having that, being like last week, like the one night stand, like that would have just been the wildest environment on the planet. Punk, and Money in the Bank 2011, like that would have just been another one that would have been crazy to be at. Yep.
That's always fun to think about those. Yeah. I was thinking about the other day, I was like, I bet you at some point in our lifetime, there will be technology. So think about like the VR goggles, like the Apple ones or Meta. Yeah. Imagine that, but them being able to recreate events in, I forget what that's immersive, right? So like imagine if they said, hey, you can be front row when Mick Foley gets thrown off the cage, right? So like you could be sitting there like a fan and you could watch that entire show and look around. That technology has to be coming.
Yeah, we saw that with Apple. I think it's cost prohibitive right now, but yes, I 100% agree with you. I know you've done the Sphere before in Las Vegas, right? Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
And so like there's that. We've seen it like with those. You and I have both tested out the Apple Vision Pro. We don't own them, but I like that kind of experience. Like you said, like put a camera at courtside and you can experience it and it'll move and you can see everything that's happening. And so, yeah, I think that's where the technology should be going. And so, just for people to be able to experience those types of things. Yeah.
Yep. It'd be fun. All right. So June 28th, 1998, Pittsburgh, PA, Civic Arena, 17,000 in attendance, including yours truly.
Good venue.
Buy rate of $385,000 or 385,000 buys.
Was the Civic Arena a good venue for wrestling?
Oh yeah, just an old school arena, fully,
cool.
Just like good seats. I sat eye level with the cage.
Okay.
So the Hell in a Cell, I was there, like kind of middle. And the funny part is, what do you think those tickets cost? I don't think I still have the stub, but $30, $50. I mean, like,
I'm gonna guess closer to 50 than 30, but yeah, I could see it. I could see that being the case. Yep.
I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of money, but like, you could afford to go to things back then,
right?
Like that's what's interesting. I mean, it's like I just concerts, wrestling. It's just fucking expensive now.
Yeah.
Like you didn't. Yeah. I mean, it was like you could have good seats at wrestling, like for I mean, what would face value on those seats be now? $200 for like a PLE where you're like eye level with the cage?
You're probably 500, yeah, depending on camera side or not camera side.
Dude,
yeah.
It's crazy. All right, Headbangers defeat Kai and Tai in 6 minutes in a 6-man tag. So it was Headbangers and Taka Michinoku defeating Kai and Tai. King of the Ring tournament. Ken Shamrock's to defeat Jeff Jarrett by submission in 5 minutes. The Rock's going to defeat Dan the Beast Severin in 4 minutes. Too Much. Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor are going to defeat Al Snow and Head with Jerry Lawler as a special guest referee in 8 minutes. X-Pac is going to defeat Owen Hart in 8 minutes. The New Age Outlaws are going to defeat the Midnight Express to keep their WWF Tag Team Championships. Now, talk about some bangers here to finish our pay-per-view. Shamrock defeats Rock in 14 minutes to win the King of the Ring. Undertaker defeats Mankind in the Hell in a Cell. And then our main event, Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, first blood match for the WWF Championship. Fantastic finish. How do we get to this first blood match?
Yeah, really good stuff. Fun card too, like some weird ones on here, but still kind of good stuff on here. And so, yeah, this was, like I said, King of the Ring for the championship. Taking place on this show was the King of the Ring. And so Ken Shamrock beat The Rock to win the King of the Ring. And so then you had Undertaker and Mankind, which, then their Hell in a Cell match there. And then you get this Kane Stone Cold. It was a first blood match. It was also, if Kane had lost, which of course this is WWE in the late 90s, Kane would have to set himself on fire. So let's keep that in mind as this match is. But at this point in 98, like WWE was hot as could be. Austin's the biggest star in wrestling. Vince McMahon is, the heel of all heels. They're leading into just this wild kind of attitude era stuff. And so, when this match isn't this match is the main event over like a Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Mankind, like that's how you just know that this is just a wild show. And so, Kane had been built up though, is kind of couldn't lose. Of course, tied to the Undertaker with everything he was doing, he ended up earning this championship opportunity. And then it was really, could Austin survive Kane? That was the biggest thing. Vince added the first blood stipulation. Of course, first man to bleed loses. It's really an attempt to screw Austin. And so Kane is masked. So how do you make him bleed? Like, that's difficult. And so, Austin's just outnumbered. He's got to deal with everybody else too. So it's Austin versus the system, as it always is. And so, Undertaker on the fringes of this one, like he could be fighting both people, who we weren't 100% who Taker was going to side with, if anybody. And so there's that playing up into this. So there's that little angle on it as well too. So overall, it's just interesting, all these different pieces that were a part of it. And yeah, like how do you make a main and in a mask bleed. Like, that's really what it boils down to.
Agreed. Well, let's cover this one. We have
I'm ready.
16 minutes left in the pay-per-view. We're on Netflix, King of the Ring 1998. Jeff, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right. It's time for the payoff.
Oh, it's time for the payoff.
You think Steve Austin's going to get a big ovation here?
Well, you think? Yeah, I wonder.
You know,
It's almost like he's a fan favorite or something.
all right, here we go. You've heard me say this before, but I mean, one of the challenges keep in mind, he just beat Shawn Michaels for the title. Okay. So we're in June. I mean, March is when he gets the title.
Mm-hmm.
So there just weren't a lot of guys for him to wrestle. I mean, he had just come off a feud with Dude Love.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bunch of heels for him. And it's SummerSlam this year. He's going to wrestle Undertaker. Like, it just, I don't know, man. It was just, again, Attitude Era was fun. There was a lot to like about it, but there was also a lot of challenges.
Yeah, it's one of those where part of it was like Austin was so big. Like, who do you put him against? Like, it's just hard.
Yeah. Well, that's like with Hogan back in the day. I mean, they called it the heel factory, but it's like, I mean, think about how hard it was back then, because, you probably, I mean, it's hard now. It's always hard, but think about how long Hogan was on top. And because of that, think about how many credible heels that they had to put him with. Andre, Bundy, Savage.
Gonzalez. Yeah.
I mean, it's like you start going through like all the, he wrestled against Mr. Perfect. You just go through like all the heels that they had to try to. Big Boss Man, they did the blow off in the cage. Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper. I mean, there's 50 of them, right? But it's like you had to keep lining up all these guys for Sergeant Slaughter, for Hulk Hogan to go against. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's weird to think it really was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? We got the cage coming down now. Here we go.
Who's controlling this cell?
Jer with the call. Yeah.
Austin dropped right over the.
Yeah, it's tough that I think who knows what would have happened if WCW hadn't shit the bed like they did. Like they could have beat them. They were beating them, and so it's just difficult. The what if of that is just crazy, with what they were working with here, like you said, of who is the heel, like who could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some interesting, I mean, look, if you took the Turner dynamic out of WCW, there's pros and cons to it, but certainly it's not unreasonable to think that WCW could have defeated the WWE, or at least left it with, two legitimate competitors, meaning they could have been going back for years and years and years. Like, there's no reason to think that there couldn't be a WWE and WCW to this day.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
If the right dynamics were in place. Another random thought I had too was, I mean, TNA would have been so much different had Jerry Jarrett had the kind of money that Shad Khan has. And Jeff Jarrett had an unlimited amount of money to work with.
Yeah.
AEW is not profitable.
I was just looking. So they're
they can sustain as long as they want because they have a seemingly unlimited amount of money.
So I'm looking at this is days until show. So yeah, this is an AEW show. 6,300 is the setup. 1,200 tickets still available. Like I get that, like, we look at, but then also like we got a venue here, 3,100 set up, 300 available. Like some of the, but then those are both AEW, but then the Monday Night Raw, 97 set up, 600 available. Like it's just like even the numbers, you're smiling because like the numbers game of it, like it just doesn't add up. Like it's not apples to apples. It's not.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing because Steve Austin's back is bloody.
What in the hell is going on?
Oh, well, yeah, it is.
So it's just funny. It's like that. So a first blood match, it's like, is there, I don't know how they explained it on commentary, but it's kind of funny. Did you see this, Cage? Are you watching?
Kane is now like, he's in the cage door laying and the cage is rising again and Kane kind of flipping down now. That was weird as hell. Yeah. How do you cover like the first blood thing? Like, why involve the cage? Like, why risk something like that? I mean, are the rules you got to bleed from your head? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. This is why. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I mean, is it like your face needs to be busted open?
Right.
It's just crazy to say that doesn't count. I mean, you follow what I'm saying about like how, I think sometimes like, and I'm not like making excuses for Jeff Jarrett or saying that Tony Khan hasn't done things well, but it's like, it's a completely different sport when it's like, hey, we have 5 years or 10 years where we don't have to be profitable and it's okay. Like, I mean, and we can pay people. I mean, imagine if TNA all those years could have been able to bring in bigger stars. And imagine if they were able to not be profitable and not be okay.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just funny how like people look at like AEW as being way more successful than a TNA. And I'm sitting there thinking what TNA did was a hell of a lot harder than what AEW's done. Young Bucks and Cody basically start a promotion. They build this groundswell. Tony Khan comes in and says, I'll bankroll it. I'll sign Chris Jericho and John Moxley and a couple guys and okay, we're off and running. And oh, by the way, I own part of an NFL team, so getting in the door for these TV contracts and conversations is not difficult.
I wonder, like, what is the benchmark of success? Oh, like AEW.
That's a great question.
Like AEW is outselling TNA. Okay. Like Evolve doesn't have all kinds of people watching it. Like, okay. Like it's solely based on ticket sales. Like that's not a thing. Cause like it's not okay. So they could both sell out a venue, but if one's got, 10,000 and the other's got 4,000, that's okay. That's a big difference. But also like, there's so many metrics to what makes it work or not work. And so who is the world talking about more? Like whose superstars are we talking about more? AEW or WWE? WWE. Like we see them everywhere.
Jeff, was WrestleMania successful this year? What's the criteria? Is it based on profitability? Then yeah, it was a no-brainer to go back to Vegas, and the show was a massive success.
Right.
It was on ESPN.
Well,
but they sold less tickets than last year. Okay, but what are we trying to do? Is it about revenue? Is it about profitability? Is it about ticket sales? Is it about visibility? I mean, like, I don't think we can like oversell how important this ESPN deal is. Like Danhausen is on ESPN, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. These guys are on SportsCenter. They're talking about the product. Like millions of people are watching the first hour of PLEs now.
I mean, McAfee's quote unquote retired, but also like he went in at the perfect, like, it doesn't matter. He still made his, I didn't like him in the ring. I didn't want to see that, but like he made his mark, like, and he helped get wrestlers over. He had Cody, he had everybody on. He had Stephanie on, he had Cody on, he had Triple H. Like, those were fun interviews. Like, and that's how you can get a younger generation of people interested in this is you have to find those creative ways. AEW is not finding those creative ways. Like, what outside of the weekly shows are they doing to generate interest in anybody? They're not. You're not seeing them on First Take. They don't have AEW World at the convention center and people are able to go and, check them out and do all this stuff. Like, it's just not a thing. And so, yeah, it's just very weird. Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about this recently, like with Meltzer and, his opinions. Think about this. What percentage of pro wrestling fans are over the age of 60? Like 5%, 10%?
Yeah.
So it's just funny. But here's my point. My point is you're using this guy, this baby boomer, as a barometer of what is and isn't good, what is and isn't over. And he represents what, 5% of your fan base? But he's the gatekeeper of what is and isn't good? I mean, he probably thinks the Danhausen thing's the dumbest thing he's ever seen, and it's your number 2 merch seller.
Yeah.
In terms of ROI, what you're paying for a wrestler and what you're getting back, Danhausen might be number 1. He's certainly in the top 5 of like your best superstars. Because I guarantee they're not paying him Roman Reigns money, okay? And he's their number 2 merch seller. He can go on all these shows. Kids love him. And you're probably paying him in the bottom third of your main roster talent.
Yeah.
So that to me is a hell of a superstar. That's a hell of an employee. People forget these wrestlers, they're employees. Okay? You pay them a salary to do something. The more they do, the better. The less you can pay them for the more they do, the better. Who's the best employee? What's who does the most and makes the least? I mean, right? That's the ROI calculation. It's whoever provides the most value relative to whatever they're making. So, this Danhausen thing's stupid. It's -2 stars. It's one of the best things they have going.
Yeah. And it's one of the, like, look at a lot of those wrestlers. Like I'm sure you see the clips too. Like, okay, like Danhausen.
Okay, this, hold on real quick.
Here we go. Yeah.
This is so stupid. Bringing Mankind back in the ring was so stupid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, you can see it. You can see the cage top is still hanging there. Yeah. And now the cage is coming back down.
But like he should have been dead. He should have been off TV for a month,
At least. Yeah. I mean, he's still covered in all the blood and everything else. Yeah.
All right. There's your stunner. Doesn't matter though. It's the first blood match. Place is going nuts. But yeah, I thought it was idiotic. Both of these guys shouldn't have come back out.
Here comes the Undertaker.
I hated them coming back out.
Undertaker looks like he has no desire to be out there. He's in a t-shirt.
Probably knew it was stupid. Okay, well there.
Austin's chair just nailed him. Undertaker's chair met Austin's. Mankind knocked outside.
He's still taking bumps. It's just wild.
Oh God, Austin is busted. He is busted open.
There it is. Yep.
And the Undertaker is putting the referee back in the ring. What the hell? Huh? The Undertaker's taking the gas.
Why is there gasoline?
because he's got to set himself on fire if he loses.
What? Undertaker pouring that gas.
Oh,
On the
that's right.
referee. A chair shot by Kane on his brother. What in the hell is going on, JR?
It speaks to wrestling at this time, like, because I know that all of us were like, he's actually going to set him on fire. Like, we are actually going to see this man catch fire.
It's first blood. He's bleeding. What? Referee still hasn't seen it. Off to the clothesline. There goes Kane. Kane trying to fight that.
Booking of this was just so weird.
God almighty. What a shot. What a shot. But Austin's bleeding. Undertaker. Referee calling for the bell. Referee calling for the bell.
Hebner sees
There
Austin
you
covered
go.
in the blood. Yep.
This show's going to be over in 30 seconds. So they
Yep.
must have just run low on time. I mean, this was just. I don't.
And a new. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't hate doing this. I mean, this was the right.
No.
I mean, this is how you get the belt off of him, right? Of course,
Yeah.
the problem is you're going to talk about this, but we gave the belt back to him tomorrow. So what was the point of this? All right, let's get to the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
Not bad. Like, weird. There was definitely some weirdness to it. It was probably a little overbooked. You didn't need Taker and Mankind coming back out, like we said, because they were just beat to shit at that point, and so it really wasn't fair to have them even back out there. So, but it was fine. It was good. I mean, not good wrestling. It was intense. Excuse me, but it was all right.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I hated. Look, what was the point of Mick Foley coming back out there?
Yeah.
Undertaker, fine, I can live with that, but he wasn't the one that got thrown through a cage and off a cage. So I thought Foley being out there was awful.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And this is one where you had Austin on the run he was on, but then loses it. Always being screwed by Vince. I guess that's part of the storyline, but it was Kane's only WWE championship reign. Finish is messy. Like, the stipulation, it also feels like, you said, he was bleeding from his back before halfway through the match. So, and like you just said too, he lost it the very next night on Raw. So his old title reign was less than 24 hours. And so, yeah, it was historic, but it was undone immediately. And so Austin, though, keeping the momentum, keeps feuding with Vince and the corporation storyline and doing all that. You had Undertaker then, of course, Kane and Austin, and they're kind of, getting into it as well. And so, yeah, but it just, like I said, it was kind of feels a little overbooked, and these are like, we got to have these people in the main event, and so we're going to book it this way. So just weird. But all right, PWI for 1998, you had Kane at 21. Austin was number 1, of course, no surprise there. This again, we've had a few weeks here. This match getting 3.25 stars. The Undertaker Mankind one, of course, it's going to overshadow it forever. And so, yeah, but this one 3.25. So what are you thinking?
I'll give this a 5.
Okay.
I mean, it was fine. It wasn't bad, but why did we do it? Why did we switch it back the next night? Why was Foley out there? Why did the cage come down? It just felt like way too much, and all of it was pointless.
And Vince sitting there, yeah, but you just don't feel like he's pulling the strings necessarily. It's just not, it's just weird. So I too am going to give it a 5. I think that's perfectly fine for this. Like I said, it's, we look at everything, and so you kind of have to look at the match before this one and what that did and what that was. And so, yeah, this played out very interesting. That's the best way to look at it. So, yep. Okay. So
What do we have next for
what do we
us?
have next week? What do we have next? We are actually having a Mankind Undertaker match, but it is going to be from 1996 in the King of the Ring there. And so we've got that to look forward to. I see a Dusty Rhodes versus Randy Orton match on here as well too. That's a short one from Great American Bash. And because I'm just a glutton for punishment, we are also going to cover the Bill Goldberg taking on Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in 1998 in Nitro, because I haven't talked shit about Goldberg in a while, so it's time. And I haven't watched that match in a while. We know how it goes, and so that's one, though. I think that'll be interesting to go back and watch with the lens of how we know these two guys now. So it should be good.
Cool.
So we got some fun stuff, and then we're SummerSlam. We got all kinds of SummerSlam matches coming up too. I see another RVD match on here. We got a big long one. The street fight between Triple H and Shawn Michaels is in the docket. I see that one coming up pretty soon here too. So we got some good stuff in the hopper.
Let's do it. Good. Well,
awesome. Cool.
Fun episode. A lot of good ones coming up. Appreciate everyone listening. We'll see you next week on an all new episode of The Payoff.